Welcome, beautiful souls, to the Yatra Sister Podcast. I'm Sharita.
And I'm Allison.
And today we are going to talk about...
boxes.
Or...
Unbox Me.
I love that.
I know.
Ooh, free me. Let me out of the box. Let me out of the cage.
Yeah.
I like it.
Be unboxed, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think we're very fearful of boxes, but then sometimes boxes are needed.
Boxes
are needed.
Containment is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a poem I wrote, okay?
Okay.
It's a very funny poem.
Okay.
I wrote it, oh my gosh, I was so young when I wrote it. Probably was either drunk or high.
Okay.
I'm sure. I mean, because this was in my college years.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's actually got a little drawing that goes with it, so I probably wasn't. I was a very smart student, by the way.
I believe that.
Yeah, 4.0.
Ooh.
And paid my way through college.
You were smart and you worked.
I worked well in that box.
Yes.
All right, here's my little box. You ready?
Let's go.
Okay. We are all in a box. Think about it. I'm sitting here in front of you in a box. Ooh, by the way, you're actually watching me right now in a box. I got here by driving a box. Sharita got here by driving a box. I reside in a box. It's built next to a box, which is built next to a box. The box I live in has separate boxes. A box for cooking, a box for bathing, a box for sleeping, often under, next to, or above another box. I lock my box from others and dare anyone unwanted to come into that box. I work in a box that's next to and above another box. I talk in a box, I type in a box, I sit in a box. Now I do all of this so I can afford my personal box and the box I write in, because without the box I write in, I couldn't get to the work box to pay for the home box. And without the work box, well, everything would fall. Now, I will go to a very big box, I love to do this, and buy items to put into my personal box. And you ask, how do I do this? Well, my work box gives me funds that come in the shape of a flat box, and I take those funds to a financial box, so I can take some of those out and go to that very big box that I told you about earlier, and then I can buy all those items I want that they have in the very big box. And then I buy those items and I carry them back to my personal box in the movable box, and I often put those items in storage boxes. Now, if I should ever leave my own box for a length of time, like on a vacation, I'm going to pack special items into a small little box to have them at the temporary box. I go to and from every day to each of my boxes side by side, other boxes, and I see that look. You know that look. You know it, Sharita. Where you look over at the other box and you say, I just want to get out of this movable box and I want to go sit down to the box that I'm driving to. And sometimes I get tired and stressed out by the boxes, so I go to a large dark box that often serves drinks, and I gather with people that came from other boxes. We do this. We gather and complain about our boxes. Get out, get out, get out, get out, they all say. But guess what? Every single one of us go back to our box and we sleep on top of a box. Now, we're all laughing about how humorous this is, but come to think about it, this poem I just wrote was written in a box. Snap, snap, snap. I just went back to my college days.
You know what? I love that because it reminds me of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
And I love Dr. Seuss.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Green eggs and ham in this box, I am.
Mm.
Yeah. So we got these boxes.
We do. We really do. And I'm not a fan of boxes.
No, I'm not a fan of boxes either. And I think we're not a fan of boxes because it seems like everything is a box.
As in what your poem was.
Yes.
You don't realize how many boxes we operate in.
I mean, it's endless how many boxes we operate in.
It is.
So I guess our title is Unbox Me. So how do we unbox ourselves in Sharita? How do we do it?
So I'll tell you what, before we talk about unboxing ourselves, let's just talk about the different boxes that we operate in. Like you listed some in your poem, but let's get a little bit more specific. And I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
Sexuality.
Oh yeah, sexuality.
Sexuality is a big one.
Yeah, that's a big society box.
The color of our skin.
That is a box. You belong to a box there. They actually make you physically check that box.
They do.
They really do. How many times do you want to check the wrong box? I want to do it all the time. I'm so drawn to checking the wrong box.
I'm not saying that hasn't happened.
I want to do it. Sometimes you know what I want to do? Check them all.
Yeah.
Like just go down.
I have been male or female.
Just because.
Like just because you get to a point you're like, why are you even asking me?
Right.
Like what does this have to do with it? So
what does this have to do with my cellular service?
Correct.
Like what does this have to do?
We just want to know how many black people are you with? Everybody got a fucking phone. So it's like, okay, can you just take that off? It doesn't matter.
I swear.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't know why you need to know if I'm a woman or a man or a black or Asian.
No. Another box is religion.
Religion is such a box.
It's a huge box.
You're either in that box or you're out of that box. And sometimes that religion can get a little cuckoo. It can be like, look, you can only hang out with people that also check the same box as you.
And okay, so let's hover right there for a moment. When we are with people that are only like us, how fucking boring are we in cookie cutter?
I mean, yeah, I don't understand that even concept, because even if you just said that, if I'm with everybody who thinks like me or is like me, that's not even possible. That's not even physically possible.
No.
I have children that are twins. Now, of course, that they are not identical because they are a boy and a girl. Right. But they're very much different, even though they grew in the same box together,
Good
right?
point. Yeah.
So even if you said we're all the same, that's not even possible. That's not even a logical. There's no way that's ever going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. And for me, for someone who only want people in a box that's just like them, like don't get me wrong, I'm so glad you love yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad people think they're amazing because everybody is. Mm-hmm. But when you look at this world that we live in and all you want to do is surround yourselves by clones of yourselves, like I don't understand you putting the same people in that box. Like I want I want to shake it up and you don't know what's coming out of my box.
Yeah, you like Fruit Loops. You want all different kinds of colors.
Gosh.
Maybe what's the one, Lucky Charms, that has all kinds of little charms that come out?
I need all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm with you.
So Buddhist, Christian, atheist, mystic, whatever your religion is, I want you all in my box.
I already put that all in my box. I became Unitarian.
Oh. Okay.
So I call it the Ryan Buffet of religion. I'm able just to walk along, and like if I look at the Buddhist part, I'm like, ooh, I like that piece, I put it on my plate.
Yeah.
When I go over to the aisle of Hinduism and I say, ooh, I love that part, I put that on my plate. Yeah. When I go over to the Christianity aisle and I go, ooh, I love that part, I put some of that on my plate.
You know what? You can't do that because that means you're confused.
I am not confused. In my box is confusion. So therefore, it's not confused.
My religion is confused.
So when somebody asks, what is your religion? I'm going to answer, confusion.
Confusionism?
Confusionism. I have Confusionism as my religion. And actually, that is not confusing because I chose it to be confusing. Yes, I wanted a confusing religion.
Correct.
That's my preference.
I want to jump in your box because that is a fun box. You're gonna learn so much by being with people that are not like you. And I like to learn.
Yeah. I'm fine having a box, but I want my box to have a door that just opens and closes. So like I can put things in it and I can take it out and I can put it in it. I don't want to be in a box that goes locked. Like if you're asking me to be in a religion that locks it because some people have to stay on one side and you can only stay this way in this one, I mean, I'm out. You're freaking me out. I don't want any locks on my box.
Yeah. So speaking of locks on your, box, being male or female.
Sometimes you should have a lock on your box. Okay, but yes, being male or female.
Yeah, that is also a box that we put ourselves in.
And for some say I want to not have a box on my gender.
Yeah,
I like my box.
Yes,
of my gender. That didn't sound right, Sharita. At all. I'm trying not to let that go that way.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm thinking as I'm talking?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the first thing we need to do, as we're listing off all these boxes, is you have to know what's inside your box. Oh my God, what? This is going to be a very
interesting. But we all have boxes.
We all do.
I
do. I have a female box. We're gonna have to go ahead and talk about it because Sharita and I are like 2 10-year-olds right now.
We always are.
Giggling because somewhere in this we started thinking about that. I do have a female box.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what's funny? I have a shirt.
Yes.
In three letters, bold letters.
Yes.
It says boy.
Yes.
Now I wore it one day and it was funny because I was with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
We were just out, wasn't paying attention. And I walked to the counter and this girl is looking at me very much confused.
Oh.
Now, I'm not the most feminine looking one in the world because I don't want to be. It's not my thing. But she was looking like, but I did have on some feminine attire with the shirt that said boy.
Yes.
She really was trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
If you were a boy or a girl.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that I identified with either. I just thought the shirt was fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
I just like, okay. I mean, I had my big boobs up there, and she's
Yes.
like, who is this? Who is this walking up in here?
So you were kind of like answering when somebody says, what is your religion? You're saying my gender is Confucianism.
It is. Like, I identify with the energy of it all. I don't necessarily, now don't get me wrong, I don't have a penis. I don't want a penis at all.
Yes. I mean, you identify as female, though.
100%.
Yes.
I absolutely love the body that I'm in. And not that people don't. It doesn't mean that I'm not saying they do not, but I actually love my body, this box that I'm in.
You've explored your box.
Oh, 100%.
And know it's your box, and you're okay with what's inside the box.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. So, I was just saying that's another box. Our jobs is a box that we put ourselves.
Oh my gosh,
Our
your
careers.
career is 100%. It's got a title.
Yeah.
It has a financial association. It has an education.
Mm-hmm.
It has check boxes.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Our finances, or lack thereof, or the enormous amount of finances is a box.
It is a box. It comes and you look at it on a box.
Yeah.
It comes in the mail. You open it in a box.
You do.
Yeah, there's so much.
So many boxes. And for me, boxes mean containment.
Yes, okay. So I think we're at where we were going. Unboxing.
We actually got
Unboxing Me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in order to not be contained or boxed, step one.
Okay.
Step one.
All right.
I do believe you need to know what's inside the box.
That's very important.
You can't unbox if you don't even know what's in the box to unbox.
Yeah.
Because
you might pull the wrong stuff out.
You might pull the wrong stuff out. You may not even understand what you're pulling out. So I think the first thing, first thing, is to know what's inside the box.
Yes.
So I believe in knowing your dosha, which is Ayurvedic. Been in the mental health world for, goodness, 30 years, degrees inside of it. Have had corporate jobs inside of the mental health world. And I have to say, the ancient techniques of a dosha test, those are spot on.
Okay.
That one was a game changer for me. Once I went inside and figured out who I was by disposition, by my dosha,
right,
by the actual earth elements, I'm like, well, this makes so much sense.
Yes, I totally agree.
Then I know when I open up the box, no wonder I don't need this in the box. This doesn't even apply to me. Why do I even have this?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think the first step is know who you are. And I'm an advocate for dosha test. And by the way, I'll plug myself. You can call me and make an appointment, and I too can give you the dosha test. It's very hard to give it to yourself without someone that knows what they're doing. Thank you very much. That's our sponsor from the practice of Allison Lindquist Cross.
Love it. And it's true. It's fact. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So I think you need to know who you are in there. That's also what you were saying. You couldn't have unboxed yourself sexually if you didn't even know inside your box what you preferred sexually.
Yeah, I didn't know until I tried. I mean, it sounds like so simple, but I didn't have anything, for me, I didn't have anything else to compare it to.
But here's the thing, I think there had to be some kind of knowing inside that box before you tried it outside the box. You wouldn't even went and tried it. My
knowing came from, and it goes back to, I talk about people, like for instance, and I'm sure even when you were small, you had, like, if you saw a boy, your idea of he is. I never, it's a pronoun game. I never said he is or she is. I was open to whoever that person was. But also my upbringing, I didn't even think about that nor want that, because I fell in love with my high school sweetheart, that type of thing, was a man. But once I was at a place in my life where I was brave enough to say, you know what, there could be another way. And that way, that opportunity came about. And I said, you know what, this is where I feel most complete and most fulfilled.
Oh, I 100% understand that. Even though I didn't have that challenge in a sexuality choice, you know, it never came across where I had to explore that. But in the other arenas, absolutely. I grew up in Snellville, Georgia.
Okay.
I did not know there was such thing as another religion. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
I was about 19 or 20 years old before I met someone that was Jewish.
Okay.
And when they were explaining it to me, the only thing I could hang my hat on that paused me was, wait, you don't have Santa Claus? That's how immature I was. That was the one thing that tripped me up. Like, whoa. Like, well, what do you do? Like, you don't have a Christmas tree? Like, it was like, I was blown away. And then from there, of course, I had to come out of the box a little bit. Because inside of my box, all that was there was Christianity. There's the only thing I was ever exposed to.
It's a bigger box out there.
So I had to go to a Hindu temple. I had to go and explore. And and just like sexuality, I started saying, wow, this works better for me. This makes me feel better.
Absolutely. And when you feel better, you are able to be of better service to other people.
Oh, 100%. You know, not very much, again, another arena was I was brought up, and I even started laughing in the beginning. See, I made a joke in the beginning about the box that I was a straight A student, right? So I was raised, I don't know why. I don't think anybody raised me this way. I don't even know why I chose it. I chose to be very type A. Like, I wanted to control things. I think my home life was a little bit out of control. So, of course, I was using the external world to use control. So I became very type A. I have to make straight A's. I have to really, that was my box. It needed to, education was my box, and I must do this. And I must, you know, shine and produce and accomplish. When I finally started learning about who I was, I realized from my dosha yet again that is absolutely the wrong way to exist. Absolutely. That was killing me. And the moment I said, oh my God, I've got to come out of the closet from being this way. And go into this world, it was like I lost 1,000 pounds.
Wow. Yeah, just because you had the courage to unbox yourself.
I had to unbox. I had to say I do better in a free moving type of career. I don't need to wear shoes. I don't need to be behind a desk. I don't need measurements. I don't need to be talking about certain kind of words like efficiency and goals and production. Those were literally like turning me off and giving me like nervous breakdowns.
Absolutely.
But who knew? The whole world tells you go to school
100%
and get a career.
This is your success box must look like this.
Yes. So I was doing what everybody else was doing, just like in sexuality. You're a girl, you marry boy. That's what society says.
I did what society said.
You did what society said, Sharita.
I mean, and I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. It was a beautiful time in my life, but thankfully I had the courage to say, hey, this box no longer fits me.
Oh, that box was suffocating you.
And I needed to see, you know, and I could have gone to another box and be like, hey, this box is even worse. Let me go back to this box. But I'm just grateful that I had the courage to unbox myself, because I absolutely love who I am today.
Yes.
I 100% love who I am today.
And you're more yourself because you unboxed. You got out of that little box that you were in that was all you knew. And said there has to be something outside of this box.
So speaking of that box, I have a point I want to read.
Oh my gosh, I want to hear it.
I have a point I want to read. So this point is about the box that I was in when I found myself divorced from my first marriage from my husband.
Okay.
And once I read this, I do want to talk about relationship boxes. Not necessarily, it could be an intimate relationship, but we're in boxes with our parents. We're in boxes with our siblings. We're in boxes that we allow other people to put us in.
Yes.
And we shouldn't be in. So I want to read a poem about that.
Okay, do it.
All right.
Do it. Girl, my 2 older sisters have me in such a damn box. I try to get out of it, they shove me back in.
So this is from the first book I ever wrote and published. Been there once, ain't gone there twice. I don't think you can find this anymore. So, yeah. But
this is your book.
Yeah, it's my book.
Oh yeah, look at you. She's impressive. Mine was like scratched and some kind of weird.
No, yours is good.
Okay, go ahead. I'm excited. I want to hear.
So this is called Little Black Box. Close the door, turn the lock. For now I'm inside your little black box. You lured me with love, hopes, and dreams. I thought that all was what it seemed. Imprisoned because I truly did not see that you did not want the best for me. My date with death was steady ticking off the clock. In my dark chamber, in your little black box. My last desire was for your heart not to feel pain. I wish for me that you wanted the same. I was your hidden trinket that only you could keep. Your life continued on while you locked me away to sleep. But now the truth has come to light, and for my life I'm willing to fight. No longer will anyone cause my soul to rot, for I am bigger than your little black box.
Ooh!
So that being
Busted
said,
out of that box.
I had to. I had to. And here's the thing. Looking back, I don't even think he intentionally tried to box me in anything. It was where I was at the moment, my youth, my conditioning, how I grew up, what I thought I was supposed to take from somebody.
Yes.
Not saying that he did not, he helped that situation. He did not. But I allowed myself also to be in a box, and that's something I want to talk about for the last part of this podcast, is how we allow people that we love or that we look up to or that we respect or even that we fear to put us inside of a box that we know we should not be in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we find that happening, what are some things that you think that we could do to either break out of the box, to unbox ourselves, or fight to not even go in that box in the first place?
Well, I always say you need to examine the exterior world, not just your interior. It's actually easier to examine the exterior move than it is the internal moves. To me.
Yeah.
It may seem scary, but it's very hard to change internal dialogue if the external world is messed up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Very hard. Very hard to change internal dialogue if the external world is messed up. So it's sometimes it's easier to actually move the box.
Okay. Good thing about that.
Pick it up and literally move it.
Yeah.
So that you're not trying to constantly fight the internal dialogue. If the box is in a dangerous place, a dark place, a place that's raining, if it's a place that just the box itself is not being cared for.
Right.
I mean, my God, don't unbox it, but maybe crawl back in it and just pick up and poke some holes and move the damn box.
So until you get to a place where you can truly unpack your box.
Yeah, where you're in a safer place to begin to unbox.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important. You know, I've been in relationship situations. It's not really the safest place to become unboxing your stuff. You're not with the right people.
Right counsel.
You're not with the right counsel.
That's very true.
Sometimes you want to unbox things and talk about vulnerable things. Things aren't making sense. You're exploring. You're questioning things. If you're not with the right counsel, the right company while you're trying to unbox, that's going to be really dangerous.
Wow.
Really dangerous.
I never thought about that aspect of it. That's so true.
So I think before you do anything, make sure you're in a safe environment when you start to unbox. So my answer to you is, you might need to move your box.
Very important. Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. Because you're right, because sometimes you can unbox And if it's just you, even unboxing feels so much worse than when you were in that fucked up box.
Oh God, yes. If you're alone unboxing,
yeah,
it's gonna feel so scary. You're probably gonna crawl right back into your box.
Absolutely.
If you're unboxing with the wrong people, you're gonna go back in and then add more tape.
Ooh,
right?
Yes.
And you're going to be very scared to ever do it again. So unboxing really requires to be in the right environment, a safe environment, because you may unbox and then decide, no, I like going back to my box.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried it out.
Yep.
I've tasted some other things and I actually found more comfort, and I'm good with that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Gosh,
I think
no.
that's called life, right?
That is called life.
It's called life. It's a life box.
You've tried things, you went out there, you were like, okay, yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe you just unboxed for a couple of days.
You could.
In a foreign town.
Right.
You know, again, maybe you want to unbox with strangers.
Or you even unboxing to let some fresh air in.
Yeah.
It may not be that you want to completely get out your box, but you just need some fresh air circulating through that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I unbox in other towns.
Okay.
Because for a long time, I've had a little halo effect over my head, right?
Okay.
You know, being a spiritual leader, marrying people.
Yeah.
Part of being a minister, counselor.
Yeah.
Also, I do it out of respect of how many people I've helped as a counselor. I might accidentally run into them.
So, are you that person in a foreign town that's running through the town? Are you street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that.
I've never street, but I might go to another town to just let loose.
Absolutely.
Completely unbox it. I don't want to stay like that.
That is healthy.
It's very healthy.
It's healthy. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, that was fun. And now I go back to my box. And I love my little box. And I'm enjoying what's inside of my box. Because I've gone through it. Gotten rid of the shit I didn't want.
You put things in it that mean something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I put things in it that mean something. Yeah.
And I love that because you know what? Oh my gosh, you taught us this thing during teacher training about staying on your own paper.
Yes.
And so this
not
reminds
my sheet of paper.
Yeah. This reminds me, and I would love for you to share that with the listeners, but this conversation reminds me of sometimes we can look in somebody else's box and we're like, you got it in there? I don't have it in mine. I think I should have it in mine, but it's not meant for your box.
Oh my gosh, Rita. I mean, we all have done that.
Yeah.
And you've had people do it to you.
Oh my gosh.
That are like peeking in your box, deciding what they can take from it without, really giving you what it might cost or think they could just have it.
Or they might not even like it.
No. Or they have no idea how much you worked to get it in your box.
Yeah.
They just think they could just have it.
Like the paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we might be looking at other people's boxes going, oh, I love what you've got in that box.
Absolutely.
I'd like to take it, and didn't work for it.
I like to have that. Can I get what's in that box?
This reminds me, this is actually in one of my other books, in my actual big yoga book. I talk about this, and this is how I described a jealousy to my daughter when she was, oh my God, maybe 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay.
And we were leaving a swim match, okay? And she was so upset that she didn't get a blue ribbon. She was like really pouty at the dinner table. I mean, like practically crying.
Okay.
I could have been the mother that was like, oh, honey, it's okay, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But she was, kind of upset about it. So I just kind of said, Carolina, oh, for goodness sake. I took out a bunch of cocktail napkins and I lined them up and I said, how many times do you go practice every day?
Ooh.
And she said, once. I said, do you like going twice? And she's like, no. So I put one under her. I said, okay, the one that won, how many times do they go? Probably like 3. So I put 3 cocktail napkins.
Okay.
And then I did it again. I said, okay, and the next day you went 1, how many did they do? 3 cocktail napkins. The next day you went 1, how many did they do? 3 cocktail napkins. I said, now look, that's why they got the blue ribbon. They got the blue ribbon because do you see how many cocktail napkins they did to get that blue ribbon?
Right.
And how many cocktail napkins you did?
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel bad about that. I don't want you to feel bad about that at all. You wanted to only do 3 cocktail napkins. Totally cool.
Yeah.
Then take the ribbon you got. They wanted to do 75 cocktail napkins.
Such a great
But
lesson.
you trying to take their blue ribbon is like stealing, Carolina.
Absolutely.
You want to steal their blue ribbon instead of paying 75 cocktail napkins.
Right. So you want to steal out of their box.
You want to steal out of their box. You can't get that out of their box.
Right.
Or be like, that's cool. I'm glad you got a blue ribbon.
Yeah.
I didn't want it anyways.
Right. It's not what I'm here for.
Correct.
I'm here to socialize with my friends by the poolside while you go swim.
How did you know that's what she liked? You know pretty well.
So, yeah. And, and sometimes in that situation, we put ourselves in a box that we don't like because we did not take the time to do the things we need to do to put things in there that mean something.
Correct. So we were doing things because somebody told us, or our friends were doing it, or we got attention from it, and we've got all kinds of bullshit in the box.
I love that. Ooh, I so love that. You're right.
Get the bullshit out of your box that you don't want or don't need or doesn't apply to you.
Yeah. I roll up your sleeves, because we talk about doing the self-work. Roll up your sleeves.
Yes.
Do the work. And get the bullshit out of your box.
Look at all the stuff in your box.
Unbox.
And we've given you some ideas.
Yeah. And in order to do that, we first must unbox.
Yes.
Our box.
Yes, unbox your box. You got to do it first. Look what's inside the box. Look at your religion choices. Look at your career choices. Look at your friendship choices. Mm-hmm. Look at your hobbies. Look at how your day-to-day routines look. Look at your, did we say sexuality?
Yeah.
I did. Okay. There's a lot to look at. And ask yourself, is this really me? And if you're struggling and you're like, hell, I don't even know what's in this box.
Right.
A word from our sponsor. You can call Allison Lindquist Cross. She's fabulous at helping you determine what's inside of that box. Okay, now back to the podcast.
Yes. And yes, that is once again correct. Yeah. And what I will say is sometimes what you had in your box when you were 15,
oh my gosh,
should not probably be in your box when you're 45.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of things, not everything, but if you have not unboxed ever, and you find yourselves our age or whatever, go unbox your box and clean the bullshit out, because I promise you, you're gonna find something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have never ever gotten out of your box since you were 15,
that's another thing. This is true.
My God, cut some holes in the bottom of your box.
Oh my goodness.
And move that box around. Go check out some other stuff. You can stay in the security of your box. But you know what? You can look at other things.
But I will tell you two things.
Yeah.
To completely kick out of your box right now.
Oh my God. What?
Guilt and shame.
Oh my Lord.
Get
rid of guilt and shame.
Kick them out. That's the bullshit.
You know how you can get rid of guilt and shame?
How?
You could just say, I had things that were just temporarily in my box. And they're not here today. So therefore, I can't have guilt and shame.
That's true.
It was a visitor in my box.
Yes.
I've had lots of visitors in my box that I don't have here today. Right?
Yeah.
There was lots of experiences, memories.
And we're supposed to.
Yes.
Jesus, we're supposed to have, all we are walking memories.
Yes, and those aren't even real.
No.
You can't put your hand in the box and pull them back out.
No, you can't.
So, you know what? That's how you live without shame, guilt.
I love that.
You know, friends, if you've got some things in that box that you're scared about, you're fearful about, you're shameful about, you have guilt about, it was a visitor that just came in, hung out in your little box, and they're no longer there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can do this. I think we can unbox ourselves.
We can unbox. It's time. It's time to unbox ourselves.
Amen. I'm all for it. Even though I sit in this box and I'm talking to in a box.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave here to go back in a box. But you know what? At least we take the time to unbox.
Yeah, at least we chose those boxes.
Yes.
Make sure everything in your box is something you chose.
And something that means something to you.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think we got this.
I think we got it.
All right. Yes. Well, then with that, Sharita, we
say amen.
Amen.
And check us out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We also have a sponsor. A word from a sponsor. Yeah. Okay, so I know we were going to say goodbye, but this week, I've had a lot of craziness. On top of it all, you left last Thursday?
Yeah.
At 1:30 in the morning, our son calls a tree fell on their house in Columbia.
Oh my goodness.
Took out all the power, landed on his car, took out their front porch, and it also took out side of their roof.
Wow.
So then rain came and it's been leaking like crazy.
Okay.
Like this all happened. This was insane. All at 1:30.
Oh
I'm on the phone for like 3 hours with my son because he is so scared.
Yeah, of course.
It was crazy. But I want to say shout out to Turnkey Roofing. Turnkey Roofing. A lot of people, you feel like roofers are going to take advantage of you.
Right.
Or they're not going to show up.
Right.
Right? And then when they show up, they use a lot of terminology you don't understand.
Yes.
And then you get nervous. Turnkey Roofing was fabulous. They were so good. They were so easy to work for. I think you might even marry one of them.
Oh my gosh, really?
So nice, so nice, so
100%.
easy. So I want to say, if you have any kind of roofing issues, they are fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
So that is turnkey roofing.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
And they will help you with your box.
Yes. And it's important to...
That's an important box.
It's a very important box. Oh, that's an extremely important box.
Yeah, you should take care of that box.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And
now
with that,
follow us on Instagram,
Yes.
TikTok,
Yes.
YouTube, all that.
All of that good stuff at Yatra Sisters.
Yeah.
Or email us.
Oh, yeah.
YatraSisters@gmail. We love to hear from you.
Yeah, email us
All right.
on that box.
Well,
All right. Now, really, with that we say,
With that we say,
amen.
amen.
See you on the other side.
Have a good one.